Alright, welcome. What's up? Here we are in the Plesiosaur Park, or one of two of them. Watching these guys swim around school. They look a lot like snakes, though. So here's the small pins first, and let's start right up here. These will be the non-humble. We'll just do some side-by-side comparisons with these. This first one of them in here, 72% non-humble. Where he's headed. Dive and clear down. Just swimming around. Alright, the next one, 78%. But he is humble. One of them. Lonely guys or girls. They're girls in Jurassic Park. 70%. That's for 3 of the humble. So 1 to 3 of them. But these are fairly small. I wouldn't want to go more than 1, and I definitely want the humble gene on them. Here's a 2 lagoon, or a 2-pool lagoon. And this girl is non-humble. One of them at 95, so not even 100% for her. How about here? Our first 100 pin. 2 lagoons, 2 pools in this lagoon. A really cool kind of color on this animal. And 2 with the humble gene. 2 pool again, humble. And we've got 10 of them in here. So between 2 and 10 is actually pretty good for these, I think. These would be, if you didn't have anywhere and you wanted them, 2 would be alright. Here's the 3 with the non-humble on full at 11. So 10 for a 2 pool with the humble, 11 for a 3 pool without it. Now these 3 stalls, and these 3 stalls, these 3 pools, whatever you want to call them. This one, let's take a look. 1.95 area, that second number down. Over here, 2.03. This longer pool, or this just straight line pool, has more area than this one, just barely. But it is enough to sometimes bring one up from 99 to 100%. Another thing that has done that for me is moving these off of curves like this. Let's see, if we move this over to here where it doesn't curve the pool when we put it on. Area went up because of that. So, it doesn't go up hardly at all, but it does go up. Be aware of that when you're putting these things on, that it's better to put them on the flat side than on a side like this and bend the pool. In here are 4 humble. 100% happy. In here are 18 of them. 70% hungry, apparently. Not hungry anymore. But between 4 and 18, the 3s are very nice with the humble gene. My park in Canada has 4 of them that don't have the humble gene in a 4-stall pen in a 4-pool lagoon, and they're 99%. So you got to get that humble gene. It's ridiculous how the difference is. This is how big they are. As I always say at the beginning of the videos, these squares are based on just a single pull of fence as far as you can, and then run at a right angle to make a square. And there it is into the pool. This one is a 2x2. So that's not too bad, actually, for a size of a pool. I mean, it's really not a lot bigger than something like this. 2 of these for that area. But as you go bigger, here's the 2x2. This thing is 4x2. So 8 of these. And this, for the 3, is actually 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 2. That's 12 of those. And here again is the 3 with less area, remember. And it takes a 4x4 to really cover it. Because you are going to have a hatchery somewhere, you're going to, you're going to need viewing areas. That's 16 squares, 4 more than this one. So that's the small ones. Now let's go look at the big park. So here in the big Plesiosaur Park, let's just take a look at it for a minute. And see the different pin shapes, sizes. We've got 4s, 5s, 7s, this enormous 13. And we'll talk about their sizes as we go. So these are 4s. There's a couple different ways you can stretch 4s, but of course this is the better way if you can get it into your park. But in this 4, we've got them packed 70%, 16 of the non-humble. Isn't bad, but on the other side are the humble. And we've got 24. So 8 more of them over here. 30% more in this side. I mean, that's exactly what it says it does on the humble gene, I suppose. Here's the 4, and here are only 4 of them at 100%. They are at 99 in my pool, which is 3 long and then 1 off to the side of it. Which is just because it had to fit in there, but they're at 100% in here, 99 in mine. On the other side of the road, there are 6. I had 7, but it would flash in and out at 99 and 100%. So 6, 7, 2 or 3 more. Pretty good for that. Let's look at this now. Is a 5 stall pin. Here is a 5 long. You can see it's not too small. This 5, non-humble. 20 of them. Munching up all the fish in the park. And across the way in this 5. 30. So you can get quite a few of them in a 5 if you've got that humble gene. And these red plesiosaurs are just cool as can be. Now these big 7s, you can see they're not a lot bigger than the 5s. There's 30 non-humble. Finally got them filled. But they are not happy to be in this pen, really. At 70%, you would have plenty of issue. And on the other side, of course, it's 30 again. But they are 6% happier. So you definitely would not want to have 30 of them over here either. The 7 lagoon long is there. If you can fit that into your park, you're doing pretty good, I think. Here is the big 13, and it has 30 again. They're 94, and these ones are humble. So I don't know how you're going to get much more than a pond like this into your park. It equates to, what is it? It's 5 by 9. That's enormous. And you look at some of these others. Here's the 5 long. It's too wide. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I thought it was 10. That's 2. That's 4. That's 6. 8, 9 long. That's still too many. And then this one is 3.5 by 5. Maybe 5.5. And that's for the 5 lagoon. Here's the 4 long. You can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 2. So that one might be a little more doable, though you'd really want that humble gene. And this thing is 4 by 5. And this extra area, of course, you're going to, again, need the viewing platform, the hatchery. So you can see that humble gene comes into play so much, but you can still fit enough of them in, provided you give them a little room. Let's go look at the grid in Canada. where I had my plesiosaurs, and you can kind of get an idea of how they would fit in with the idea of this here at a 5. Again, we were at 3.5 by 6, 4 by 6, probably. If we went a little big. Let's go look at Canada, though. All right, back in here in Canada, I've shown this grid a few times on my videos, but I'm not assuming you've seen any. This is the grid. I had my plesiosaurs down in here. I mean, there's 5 there, and you needed a 5 and a 3, 5 and a 4. There's plenty of room down here for a 5 stall lagoon. There's quite a bit of room here, in fact. And that big 13 that I had would even fit in some of these places here. But there's the Canadian map all gridded out in 1x1s. And let's go back and find us a plesiosaur. Apparently, if you work at this a little bit, you can get a 9 pool lagoon down in here, which would get you, I mean, this would be 25, 30 humble ones if you could get them. 20 I don't know. But there is still room down here for amenities and viewing platforms and I don't know, let's see. Yeah, you could get down here with everything. All right. I think we're headed back to the Plesiosaur Park. Alright, so as I usually say, the Canadian map really lets you know how much room you have with some of these things with that grid on it. I mean, this thing would fit down on that lower corner of it, and mine is one less than this, and I have like all my power stations and a ton of other things down in there. But as always, I'm going to say thanks for watching the video, and find you a good plesiosaur to watch. And I suppose you want to be fairly honest with yourself about how much room it's going to take, as the 2-stall lagoon, if they're humble, you can have between 2 and 10 in it. That's not terrible, but the 3s are probably a little closer to what you're going to want. Unless you're going for bigger, larger groups of them. Otherwise, of course, you're going to be really wanting to kind of map out the area before you just decide I'm going to put them in. And one thing that might help a little bit before we go on is the reason I can put these in all so, I suppose, symmetrically, is that when you go to put in your lagoon, you want to see where those arrows are going, and that's exactly where you're going to go. So if I want it over there or running straight down next to this thing, we want to line this up just to where we think it's about the same. You can see I'm a little bit off as I get a little closer with each one, but a little playing with that and you won't have too much trouble putting them where you want them to go. Alright. Plesiosaur? Oh, he's very cool. Enjoy this beautiful animal, and I will see you guys in another video.